All right, good day, everyone. I am Bumi Ajagunna. Today, I'll be taking us through AI for content creators, and I will be specifically speaking about content creation for kids. Now, when we talk about content creation for kids, we're looking at our audience being children, right? The whole idea of getting into this environment, or I would say this space, is because um, without thinking too much, it is a no-brainer that the world has pumped in a lot of immorality, a lot of inappropriate content, even in the cartoon space, in the animation space, in the kids' books space, in pretty much every innocent space that we have for children. And it's high time that we as Christians take the bull by the horn and ensure that we're bringing the Bible to life for our children, and our children can see what the Bible says they should see, they should say, they should do, where they should go, rather than what the world says. And how best can we do that than bringing out content that brings the Bible to life? So, this is where I come in. I'm going to show you how to create content for children. Specifically for this session, I will just be focusing on children's books. And the reason why I'm focusing on children's books is because you start with creating a book for kids that are captivating, and then you move on to like it could be a regular picture book, then you can move on to like a comic book, and then you can move on to animation, cartoons, and the likes. And when we look at it, to be honest with you, cartoons nowadays are not only for kids, as in it's not only kids that watch cartoon. You find teenagers, you find even adults enjoying cartoons. So it's a wide audience. And while I was in Nigeria last week, I watched the channel's television, and the audience for that interview was Muyiwa Kayode. And Muyiwa Kayode mentioned something. He said, for the animation industry, you know, for those who want to invest, the best thing for them to invest in right now, the best industry for them to invest in right now is the animation industry. And I was like, of course, he's trying to market the animation industry. What else would he say? But I went on to be like, you know what? For all it takes, let me just Google it and check, all of the billions of dollars that he was trying to quote in there. And this is what I got. On the screen, you can see just regular Google. I said, what is the future of the animation industry in US dollars? And the response is the global animation market size is growing from $436 billion in 2024, which is this year, to $895 billion. What are we talking about? We're talking about more than $150 billion in 10 years. All right, let's say, well, that is not our space. That is globally, so it doesn't really affect Nigeria. Let's clone in on Nigeria. I went in there and I said, so what is the future of the Nigerian animation industry in US dollars? Man, yep. According to Globe and Mail, it says, looking forward, the group expects the market to reach $17.8 billion by 2032, and it should exhibit a growth rate of 7.78%. Now, according to CG Africa, they should experience an annual growth rate of 20%. You know, this is almost like a no-brainer. It's almost like asking, so what are you waiting for? You know, and it's not rocket science to understand what to do, how to do, when to do, and all of that. And that's where I come in today. I'm going to teach you how to start, continue, create, publish, market, and all of that, everything in between. And I'm going to do it pretty quick so that we're able to cover as much as we need to cover within the time allotted for me. And let's dive in. So, where do I start? As usual, everybody will say it's ChatGPT, ChatGPT. It's taking, as in there's an exponential growth in it. There are different updates coming up. Yes, I agree. So I know quite a few of us, or quite a lot of us, are already conversant with ChatGPT. So I'll start with that. But really, there are so many other platforms that you can use that are very similar to ChatGPT. There's ChatGPT, there's Meta AI, there's Claude AI, and there's just quite a few out there. So For those of you who are conversant with ChatGPT, or even if you're not conversant with ChatGPT, I'm going to share my screen and just show you basically what to do. You log into ChatGPT and then you put your prompt. Now, for me, I was like, I want something unique and I want something different. Think about your niche. What do you want? What's the goal? What's the big picture? So when you know what the big picture is and you then clone down, get the details of things that you want, write down things that you really want to do, what the process is or what the message you're sending is. So for me, in this particular example I'm going to give you, I'm thinking of, bringing the Bible to life with regards to the fruits of the Spirit. So I started with kindness. So I wrote a book on kindness, but how did I start it? I went into ChatGPT and all I did was write me a Christian folktale because I want all my books to have a piece of culture in them. So they're all going to be Christian folktales. They're all going to bring the Bible to life. They're all going to teach the children something, at least one thing positive. So ChatGPT gave me this response. It gave me the title of a book, the first book. Mind to say that when I wrote "Write Me a Christian Folktale," there were many. So the first one is the humble shepherd's blessing, and then it told me about once upon a time in the village nestled in rolling hills in Judea, and it mentioned Micah, and it mentioned Joseph. And I thought to myself, I said, I really like this story. So what did I do? Because I want it to be a folk tale from Africa, Micah won't work as a name. So I changed it to Amino. So I had this story, which is pretty much what I would start with. Of course, there were many others. I told it, yes, I love it. Tell me another one. And it just kept on going and going. Tell me another one, another one, another one, another one. And it just kept on giving me stories. So you can start with ChatGPT and get the stories that you want. What niche do you want? Tell it what you want. Mine is a Christian folktale. What's yours? It could be the same, it could be different, but pick something unique that you know that, oh, I know that there's a thirst and there's a hunger for this in the market. So what did I do next? So I picked this and next I got the story. I thought about the things that I wanted to do differently. And when I say differently, I'm talking about the names I want to change and things like that. So I'm going to show you what I did. I went into Canva and the Canva is canva.com. So when you go into Canva, you get the templates and stuff like that. It could be children's book that you write or a template on children's book. So I got a template on children's book, and then I started off populating everything that I had in my story from ChatGPT. So this is ChatGPT. It's telling me once upon a time in a small village nestled in the rolling hills of Judea. So I came to Canva and I got a template, children's books template, and then I started my story. Once upon a time in a small village nestled in the rolling hills of Gombe. So rather than Judea, I changed it to Gombe. There lived a humble shepherd named Aminu. You remember that my ChatGPT story was a humble shepherd named Micah. So the intriguing thing for kids' books is that this whole thing, though it looks a little short for a book, is pretty long when you actually break them down into paragraph by paragraph. When you break them down into paragraphs, it helps, get that story out there in little bits. Because what are you trying to do? You're trying to feed little minds, and you don't want them to get bored by all the wordings and all of that. So you need to make sure that you're bringing in not just the wordings, but you're also bringing in pictures, something that they can relate to. So as you continue to build your story, make sure to plug in pictures there. And you might wonder, so how did I get all of these pictures? And that's where the next step comes in. So, like I had mentioned, when you click on Canva, for those who are not conversant with Canva, Canva is canva.com. When you go in there, you can have a free account or you can have a paid account. My account is a paid account. I have the Canva teams, but honestly, you really can get the free account and you can get so much in there. I think there are like 2 million templates in there or more. They pride themselves in a platform that has one of the most templates in there. And honestly, I agree with the free option. You really do have a lot. And when I say that you come in here and search what you want, you just search it up here, a children's book, something like that, and you just pick, a template that you like, anything. So this is a template that you can use. It also gives you different things, so you can use any of these templates, customize it once you click on it, and you then want to what do you call it? You then want to customize the template. You just click on customize the template. And for those who have never really used Canva and no conversant with Canva, all you just need to do is to double click and type over, the humble shepherd. Or you can say, yeah, the humble shepherd. And then every other thing will just, as in you just continue you can change the picture, you can leave the picture, or if it's the girl that you're talking, the girl, you just basically teaching you how to customize, and then you build it out there. When you want to add a page, you click here to add a page. When you want to add text, it's on the left hand side. You can add as much text as you want in the same format as you want. There are some font combinations that usually are recommended. Use one when you're using the other, and so much more. But that's not the crux of this. Anyways, back to where we were. So that's how I started building this, and I continued my story. Every day he tended to his flock. So basically, when you look at the story, you can see that I have already put in everything, more like everything, but not everything, because there were some things that I left out, and there were some things that I sort of twisted, and there were other things that I just kept as is because they were fine. So for those ones, you could see that my first page was just this. So it wasn't even up to a paragraph. It was like one sentence. Then the next page was every day he tended to his flock, guiding them through lush, as in, so you can see how I have broken it down. So basically, that is what I do for the text. And anytime you want to add text, all you just need to do is to hover on this, add, no, that's duplicate, sorry. So when you hover on this is duplicate if you want to duplicate the same thing. But if you want to add you just click add, and then it adds the template, and then you can add your text into it, and then you put in what you want in there. As you make it bigger, you can just, make it bigger. All right, so I'm going to delete that page. We don't need it. So that's pretty much it for, excuse me, that's pretty much it for the wordings. So you continue to build and build and build. When you have finished putting in your wordings, you have an idea of what you want when it comes to the pictures, as in the images. And when I say what you want when it comes to the images, is because you have already broken down your wordings, and you sort of have an idea of, okay, so the next thing I want these kids to see, these children to see when they're actually looking at this, is maybe the valley or a lush town, or you understand, as in you have an idea of what you're looking to get for the children to actually have. And so when you do that, it's pretty much asking for, okay, I want a prompt for all of these things. So how would I get prompts for this? And it's easy to do that as well. So what you do is you can ask ChatGPT, can you please give me prompts for it? And I'm going to show you something and how I'm going to do that. So you can write something like this. So I'm still in ChatGPT. You see, generate 25 image prompts for the humble shepherd's blessing story. So you remember that you already had your story, and it remembers, your story and all of that. It will tell you what prompts to use in there. So it will tell you a serene hillside is one, um somebody lying under a starry sky, a cloud. Okay, so I'm going to show you what my book looks like. So this book, we come back to it. We have a menu here. You have already put that prompt into the platform that you want. And what platform did I use? I used Ideogram for it. And the reason why I used ideogram for it is because for the testings of ideograms, the pictures I saw were okay, and they sort of gave me the feel for an African. It sort of gave me the feel for an African, work, and that's why I liked it. It wasn't overly realistic, but I enjoyed it and I liked it that way. And that was why it sort of looked like painting, and it was because of what I had already requested for it to be. So what I did was I went into ideogram. So ideogram is spelled Ideogram, ideogram.ai. So when you go into ideogram.ai, Okay, let me state again that Ideogram is a free app as well. So when you go into Ideogram, sign up if you've never been to Ideogram, sign in if you already have an account with Ideogram, and then you are then good to go. All right. So with that said, when you are inside Ideogram and you have already signed in, you will be able to put your prompts into your window, and the places you put the prompt into are here. So you put the prompt into here where it says describe what you want to see, and basically what you want to see is the hillside, and it's in Gombe and things like that. So basically what I did here was I had already put in all of the things that I needed, and I had already come up with my images. And for you to be able to see my images, you just go into things that you have done before. So it will, once you click on here, this on the top right, I don't know whether you can see that. On the top right, you'll see my images, and it will take you to all of the images that you have already, excuse me, all the images that you have already prompted to have something in there. So you can see the different images and all of that. I'm just going to click on, one of the images. I'll double click on it. All right. Okay. So I'm going to click on it and just say, I won't say edit. I'll say use prompt. All right. So use prompt basically shows me what the prompt I used is. So for this particular one, I said I want a captivating photograph of a 42-year-old Aminu. He's an African man with an oval face, narrow jawline, dark full lips, and dark caramel skin. His light brown eyes shine with excitement. Da 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 da, blah 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 blah. A few things there, and then it produced this. If you want consistent characters and consistent images, make sure that you name your character. After describing Aminu with long face and oval face and everything, Aminu. The next prompt that you have Amino has, so that your AI app knows, okay, you have already described this person and this is the person you're describing. Sometimes you might, this person that you're requesting, so sometimes you might also need to continue to add those details. So just like you had that, he had an oval face, Amino, he's 42 years old. So you leave all of those and then, add to what you want. Amino is backing the camera, or Amino is facing a woman who is round face, dark skin, as in something like that. That way, it will give you the similar face of amino. It might not be exactly the same, but overly similar. So you can see this and this are very similar. This and this are very similar. As in, so this and this are very similar, like identical twins. So it's basically the prompt that you give it that you will get back. Okay, so back to the humble shepherd. So I come here, and after I do all my prompts and all of that, I bring in all my images one by one. The prompts are pretty much, little by little. I bring them in and I type them and I paste them into um the pages. So you remember I already had put all my text in the book. So it was a book. Let's assume it was like a 30-page book. Now I start adding pictures in between each of the pages, because for children, what they want to see is they want to see the words and then they want to see the corresponding picture. That's what captivates them. And so what I did in this particular regard is, once I have a page, then I put a picture. I have a page, I put a picture. I have a text, I put a picture, like that. You might agree with me that many times, if you have a very good children's book and you're reading that children's book as a bedtime story to a child, it's before the child sleeps, the book might have ended. Why? Because the child is looking to see, oh, let me see the picture. Oh, let me see the picture. Why? Because it's captivating. They want to see the picture that relates to, the text that you have written. And that's where all of the imaging comes in. So you can use ChatGPT, Meta AI, and Claude AI, and a few others for the text. For the imaging, you can use Canva directly, you can use Ideogram, you can use even Meta AI as well. And so when I say you can use Meta AI will give you, a few options for your text, which I like very much because it sort of helps you, it gives you like four options on what you want. All right. So we'll continue with that, and that gives us our book. So this is what we have now. You know, it shows everything, the hillside, the countryside, it shows the weary person, it shows everything, the images that we want. After we have done this, what we then do is that we then download. So you download and then you pick that you want it to be in PDF print. Remember PDF print because you want to print it, you want to publish it, correct? Yes, correct. So you print it and then you flatten it and make sure that you make it bleed. And that's usually important it's not compulsory, it's not like a requirement, but it's recommended that you make it bleed just in case your pictures are smaller than it's expected. At least it bleeds out and it fills the whole page so that you don't have some spacing at the edges. So you flatten your PDF and then you download. Once you have downloaded, that's you make sure that you have the right sizing and everything. Once you have downloaded, the next step is for you to publish your book. Um, Depending on what you want, you can either publish your book and then market it, or you can market it to people to let them know this book is going to be published soon. I'm going to release a book on da 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 day because on Amazon you can also, have an early release date. So let's do that. How do we do all of this on Amazon? It's called KDP. So we're going to type in KDP here. So on your browser, you have kdp.amazon.com. And what KDP does is that KDP will give you the opportunity to publish your book. So if you've never used KDP, it will ask you to sign in, sign on, and all of that. Put in your details, put in your bank account. Excuse me. So put in your details, putting your bank account, the options for your bank account, and ensure that everything is there correct. It will also ask you information with regards to your taxes, as where do you want your taxes to be paid? Are they going to be paid in US dollars? Are they going to be paid? So when you go into your account, it is what kind of account is this? It's an individual account. How do you want to receive your money? Do you want to receive it in Canadian dollars, US dollars, Naira? Whatever you want, and then you put in your account details. So every time you have royalties to be paid, Amazon will automatically pay into that account. So anytime I always see the sales in there from Amazon, I know that this is a sale of one of my products on Amazon. I also have a seller account for another product entirely for one of my or for the company that I have. But for this one, this is the one for the book. All right. So with all of that said, this particular page I got it clicking on the your account. All right. So now I want to go into how to publish your book. So you click on the bookshelf, on the section for the bookshelf, and then you click on the create. That's the plus create that is huge on the screen. Once you click on the plus create that is big on the screen, it asks if you want to create an ebook, a paper book, or a hard copy book. It will create. You can create a paperback book. All right, so we've clicked on create a paperback book. We want our book to be in English. The title of the book, we're going to put it in there. The subtitle, we're going to put it in there. If it's going to be a book that has series, you put it in there. For the purpose of this example, my book is a 10-book series. So it's one series, but it's a series of books, 10 of them in one. So I put it there, add to the series. As I bring up a book, I add it to the series. So you can add the name of the series if you want, and then all of that. I didn't add a book title, so then you don't need an edition number if you're not changing the edition. If you have authors that you would like to add in there, you add them in there. If anybody contributed, either an author, an editor, and any of these ones rules, you include their names in there as well. Then put the description of your book. This is the description that your buyers will see when they're on Amazon. It's just a small description that you see there. Maximum is 4,000 characters. You have This is where you say, do you have the copyright? Yes or no? And is there any sexual explicit images? No. And then you go on and on and on about your categories. Your keywords are very important for you to put it in there. They're for children, it's a kid's book and all of that. So that's very important. If you're writing adult books, you put that in as well. I had mentioned the release date, and that's where I mentioned that if you want to market first before publishing, you can do that, or if you want to publish first. So it all depends on you. If you want to publish at a later date, you can publish at a later date by scheduling your book's release and telling people, oh, it's going to come out on September 29th. And then they're able to look out for it. And once it's released, they buy the book. And then once you're done, you upload. The next content will be for you to upload your book. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to just show you what I have already done in mine. So in mine, I'm just going to close this. In mine, you will see that when you look at the category on the left-hand side, there's something called draft and there's something called live session. So live means that when you type the name of this one or when you search for it on Amazon, it's live. It's there. You can purchase it. Draft means that you might have put in your information and all of that, but it's not live on Amazon. You still need some work. So check the email that you're registered with to see what work you need. Sometimes it might be the sizing, it might be the different things, and then you just put it in there, make the changes, and then you make it go live. So you can also see that for this one, we have other books here that are live on Amazon as well. So for this particular book, what you will see here is the cost of the book, and that's the same book I was showing you on Canva, The Humble Shepherd, and how I created it. Once you do all of it and you fill everything out by yourself, you can click on publish and you will be able to publish your book. Your book is live and everything is good to go. You will click where you want Amazon to have it sold. I click pretty much every Amazon store. Sell it to all the Amazon stores, whether it's US, UK, Japan, Canada, China, wherever it is, just sell it there. And you will be, intrigued to know that quite a number of times when you go in there and you see somebody bought your book or your journal from Kuwait, another one from Qatar, another one from, as in you're like, oh wow, this is amazing, because how else would you have gotten that book into the hands of people like that, if not for a platform like Amazon? Okay, so we publish our book, and once we finish publishing our book, it is live and it is good to go. And you can actually check Amazon to see whether it is truly there after you have done that. So you click on the Humble Shepherd. That's it. There you go. That's my book there. And when you see that it was asking for a front page, upload, back page, and all of that, this is where all of that comes in. So the front page is here, the back page is here that you would see. And that's it, That's the book. This is where the description I was talking about is. Just put a short description. Yes, you might have 4,000 um characters. You might want to use all of them or you might not need to use all of them. So far you get your points straight ahead to the to where you want it to be. Just be straightforward, be concise, so that at a go, people who want to buy it know exactly what they're getting into. And that's mostly it. One additional thing I wanted us to note is how to, excuse me, is how to actually market your book. So there's this platform I love to use, and it is called Place It. Just like the name says, yes, Place It. So I'm just going to show that to you. Um, so it is placeit.net. When you click placeit.net, your system will go to Placeit. You can either sign in or sign on. There is a free version of it, but disclaimer or rather full disclosure, the free version has a watermark, so you don't want to You might want to pay for it afterwards. So you can put your logo, not your logo, but you can put your image on a shirt, on anything to let them see, to help you market it. Even though you don't have models that are helping you to do it, once you put the logo in there, it does, what you want it to do, and it's also good. I'm just going to show you what I have downloaded so far with regards to the Humble Shepherd book. So you saw the Humble Shepherd book, and that's it. You can actually look at yeah, and you can download as well. So I just clicked on download and downloaded this one. I'm just going to open it so that you can see what it looks like. So what I did was I just downloaded my book on one of the images that I really liked. And because my book is a children's book, I downloaded it on the image for a father reading to his son. Look at it. These are not my models. These are not people I know, but these are mock-ups. So I used Place It for my mock-ups. And you can use Place It for pretty much anything, whether it's a truck company, it's food company, it is children's books, whatever, even a movie. You can use it for anything pretty much. And it has a lot of things in there that are really nice, that I think are really cool, you know in there. So this is another one that I really liked and I used. But a lot of it you'll see that I'm using kids, at least kids are in the picture somehow, whether they're the ones reading it or they're being read to. That's one thing I like. All right. So this is it, the humble shepherd. And it helps. It also helps you to know, how to do all of these mock-ups that you always find out there. This is one that I used to wonder how I could do, and I just didn't realize that I could get it on Placeit. And now I have it on Placeit, and I can send it to my platform through Instagram, Facebook, just my network through WhatsApp, and just send it to them that, hey, my book just came out. Please make sure to purchase it. And that's the picture, and that's pretty much most of it. So make sure that you get your content, your script, you get your images from the AI platform. Excuse me, I think I'm jet lagged. You get your script from the your images, your scripts, all from AI, and then you publish it on Amazon, KDP. After you publish it, you market your book or market before publishing, your choice. And that's it. The word of God is already on its way out to different countries out there. So it's important for you to make sure that you use the skills that God has given you for the purpose of the kingdom. That's very important. I cannot overestimate that, overstate that. Please make sure that the skills that you have learned, as you can see, there are not many apps that I used. ChatGPT and Canva and Ideogram. You're already on your way. You're an author and you're actually propagating the word. And for me, I feel it's a win-win. You're being fulfilled because you're an author. You're also getting royalties for it. So you're being paid for it, and you're also getting the sense of the fact that the word of God is being spread out there. And it's so awesome that children will want to know, more about the word of God. They want to learn, go, when's the next book coming out? I really like the way this one ended and things like that. So even in your bedroom, you might want to cut out one of the procedures, which might be the ChatGPT side. If you want to already have an idea of the script that you want, maybe you already have like a vision of what God is telling you to write about, and it just was placed on your heart, then you can do that as well. And then cut out the ChatGPT part, create your content, and just get ideogram to get your images and all of that. And you're well on your way to be one of the best selling authors. If you have any questions, let me know. And I think that will be it for now. Have a wonderful rest of the day. God bless you.